Understanding the 14th Amendment and its impact. The power of the 14th Amendment. Hey, everyone. Today, let's dive into something really important. The 14th Amendment to the U.S. Constitution. This amendment is huge because it established birthright citizenship, guaranteed due process, and required equal protection under the law for everyone. So what does that actually mean? It means these principles are essential to what it means to be an American. But here's the catch. These ideas weren't clearly laid out in the original Constitution. They didn't fully apply to both federal and state cases until the 14th Amendment was ratified in 1868. Its influence goes beyond citizenship. It affects nearly every area of American law today. The historical context. To understand this amendment, let's rewind to the time just after the Civil War. We entered an era called Reconstruction. The South was left in ruins. Major cities were damaged, and the economy crashed because it relied heavily on slavery. Around 4 million formerly enslaved people were free, and the question was, how do we treat them? This was a critical period. The 13th Amendment abolished slavery, but many Southern states tried to maintain control using laws called the Black Codes. These laws restricted the freedoms of African Americans and aimed to keep them in a cycle of labor. Congress realized that stronger protections were needed to ensure people had equal rights. That's why the 14th Amendment was created. The sections of the 14th Amendment. Let's break down the amendment. It has 5 sections, and believe me, it's important to understand each one. Section 1 focuses on citizenship and rights. It says that anyone born or naturalized in the U.S. is considered a citizen. This clause is crucial because it provides clarity on who is a citizen, something the original Constitution didn't fully address. When the amendment was ratified, it made it clear that all states must treat citizens equally. This meant preventing states from denying anyone their rights without due process. This section laid the foundation for many civil rights laws we see today. Representation and equal protection. Now, Section 2 is about representation. It states that representatives in Congress will be apportioned based on the entire population, including formerly enslaved people. This ended the 3/5 compromise, giving full representation to African Americans and ensuring the states couldn't deny voting rights without consequences. Section 3 deals with former Confederates in government. It prevents anyone who is engaged in rebellion against the U.S. from holding office. This was necessary to ensure that those who fought against the Union couldn't just return to their jobs in government. However, this section became less strict over time, and many former Confederates regained their rights by the late 1800s. Public debt and enforcement. Moving on to Section 4, it talks about public debt. It guarantees that the U.S. will honor its debts, but won't pay debts incurred by the Confederacy. This meant that people who lost money investing in the Confederacy wouldn't be compensated. Finally, Section 5 gives Congress the power to enforce the amendment through legislation. This has allowed Congress to pass civil rights laws and ensure that the amendment's protections are upheld. For example, it played a role in the debates following the events of January 6, 2021. Conclusion: the impact today. So what's the takeaway? The 14th Amendment reshaped our nation and remains a cornerstone for civil rights and equal protection today. Its guarantees are still relevant and continue to influence important discussions around citizenship and the role of government in our lives. Thanks for hanging out with me today. I hope you learned something valuable about the 14th Amendment and its impact on our society. We'll be back soon with more videos, so stay tuned.